all of you. As you've clearly heard,
What do you want?
a rare vacancy has occurred in the House of... There has been an event, a great twist in the narrative of our kind. Sir Sagril has fallen. Sagril, slayer of Ozigan, defender of the crown of Haxi, has been defeated. A death in the House of Ballads gives an opportunity, a chance for one hero to join the ranks of the greatest champions in fey-telling. Olain, Creth, Wenson the Bold. Do any of you have the courage to pass the confirmation? If you do, your adventures will be sung to the heavens for all eternity.
I wish not to waste my words on you. Now go.
Wander elsewhere.
What is a mortal doing here?
Thing. This does not concern mortals.
Glynel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. And why would such a thing be revealed to a child of dust? You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. Oh, nothing. This is no mere lawstone, you know. The Codex of Destiny is distilled knowledge from the High King of the Fae, given to the first Fate Weavers. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift. But why did it reveal itself to you? Surely you have a part to play in some great tale. Perhaps you'll act as the chosen pawn, or even the wisest fool. Few children of dust have ever had such an honor. Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm sure you think it is. I fear you must have been taken in by a forgery. A perfectly created one, perhaps, but a forgery nonetheless. But this codex speaks of impossible things, changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be... I'm sorry, but I must ask you to take it away. I will have no part in these lies. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author could tell you. All of us in the Western Feylands are subjects of High King Tatarian. Our presence maintains the natural balance, bringing the green of spring at winter's. We are the story that is told in every age, with different words. We are the blazing summer and the brooding winter, forever following one another. We are. He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war, the role of the storyteller is the most important. His gaze is not on one ballad, but all of them. His wisdom is above us all, even the lords and ladies of the House of Ballads. The High King guides us in all the grand telling of the Fae. For you, tales are naught but a reminder of your inevitable decline. But for the... Here we celebrate the very heart of our kind. The greatest of our every creature has its story. The wake it leaves behind in its travel. That is a telling. It is a narrative of defeats and victories that give every life meaning. Our Fae telling goes on from creation deep into the hidden end. Until then, we celebrate the small songs, the ones that celebrate the spring in which we find ourselves. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Glynel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. No, I bet my blades that it's real. Glynel may be a very learned scholar, but it's been ages since he had to learn anything new. Most Fae don't take well to new ideas. If this old fool thinks the High King would never have written the Codex, then it's all the more important that the High King see it. It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Niralim is a private person, and he carries a grudge against me, although perhaps person isn't the right word for him, nor is him. You'll find him in southeast Dalantoth at Caer Niralim. Just head towards the giant tree, and, well, you'll see. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Niralim and I have our disagreements. I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right? That codex isn't just a complicated law stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Titarian himself, no less. Interesting. We are the charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. Niralim is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie. The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them time and again. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer. But he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw Prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court, but since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. We've known for a long time that Prismia crystals allow us to store and focus magical, but we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. Good luck with Niralim, and ignore anything he says about me.
Unfortunate. I'd hoped that a true codex had been on. His wisdom is above us all, even the lords and ladies of the House of Ballad. Sing your song. You do not belong here.
Good day. How can I help you? You are the mortal I've been hearing about. How the songs of the House of Ballads are not simply story. There are some who believe our time of glory is on the decline. That our ballads will fade into mort. I can help you with any gems or shards. Speak to them on your behalf. My telling is not one of battle and bravery, but of binding. I served Wenson himself back when the great ballads were new. I will be here waiting.
You must be lost. Yes? Welcome to the Summer Sanctuary, where the seeds of knowledge... I see you are a stranger and a mortal. I am Green, and I possess the healer's warmth. You have need of my services? All of us at the House of Ballads live to serve Wenson and the court. They are the lords and ladies of tradition, embodiments. If you ask me, our kind should be moving east to aid the Alpha. We are part of a bigger world. For our kind, healing is simply a matter of asking our bodies to mend themselves. For one like you, I do what I can. Most of the time, it's not enough. I've learned much. Farewell, fragile one.
another mortal, but not like the others. You are welcome here. Niralim has been waiting. Niralim says few words, and even fewer words are spoken of the Children of Dust. Niralim would not mention you unless there was some pressing matter of fate. You should speak with the Wise Tree yourself, and learn of what has been foreseen, chosen by the Summer Court. Occasionally I'm privileged enough to hear the wisdom of the Great Tree itself. Niralim is wiser than King Tatarian, and older than memory itself. We care for the tree, making sure it grows. It is an honor to be one of the chosen who meditate in the shade of Niralim's wisdom. Cultivate it. Go with wisdom.
Niralim, may your wisdom grow within us all.
Niralim, may your wisdom grow within us all. She sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village plagued, to find a cure for them, her quest, the Maid of Windermere, her test. She faced the evil maid enraged. She trembled with her wrath. Undo your evil magic now, or I will end this tale, I vow.
Come closer, little curiosity. The curious one seeks a way to the Fae, but it has found its way to the boughs of the World Tree instead. Rest, Quickling, and I may study you. Look around you, and I am all that you can see. My roots spread across Dalentarth. My leaves read the winds from Frostbrine Coast to Alabastra. My family and I circle this world. We were saplings when your kind emerged from the dark, and we will grow with you until this world burns once again. My roots spread wide and deep, and I have heard what brought you here, but I cannot see where you go hence. The time of the Fae is passing. I must shelter them in their twilight, and protect them from the Prismere corruption that spreads in their kin. I know your needs. But the Predators circle Issa in her nest, and I cannot allow another to enter. Issa's end has always been certain, buried beneath Prismere blades. I can only hold back the tide. But you, perhaps you can change the currents. Where you tread, you mark all you touch. Before I would help you, I must know. Will you be a kind gardener, or a careless reaper? Yes, but will it be for the better? I cannot stop you from trying, but perhaps I can guide your efforts. A tribe of trolls has been corrupted with Prismere. Their matriarch, Nash, has united the clans in the first step on the path of Dalentarth's demise. You can change this fate, but to what? In doing so, you may awaken a more dangerous threat, like your ally, Aelin Shear. She walks a dark and tangled path. A path you once walked together before you died. But your path is your own now. Defeat Nash, remove the taint of Prismeer. Then I shall see who you are, if not who you will become. The Troll Matriarch and her brood await at Haxi. Their corruption. Aelin Shear is a mystery and a simplicity. Together you have walked dark paths beneath my boughs. You knew one another before you, like the sun in the sky. They knew me when I was a sap, but they will never know change, nor how to save themselves from their patterns. Only one Fae has ever truly changed, and he now leads an army to destroy your kind. The fates of Quicklings are very simple. Growing, consuming, expanding, dying. You are unique among them. You decide your own direction. But does that mean you will choose any? The Troll Matriarch. Prismeer has corrupted her, making her cruel, cunning, and far more ambitious than her brethren. She bears the marks of the Tuatha, and she shares that I am as world trees have ever been since the dawn of time. To creatures of flesh like yourself, Prismeer is a powerful tool to harness magic. To them, it is a curse, a blessing, and a rapture all in one. I can no longer ignore the Quicklings like your kind who rush through the world. Fools who hack at my roots and burn. And sometimes sages who hang from my branches and learn. The last great Fae city. At once the birth of their dream, the throne of their great realm, and the deathbed of their kind. In thanks to High King Titarian, my boughs stand vigil over their city in their twilight. Only by my leave may visitors see them in their weakness. Walk your path and watch your ally. Nash and her brood draw a bloody line across Walk your path.
under the wicked maid's spell, and was human in thought, and all was well. Rampaged throughout the countryside in joy, and treated everything as its toy. Lord Airmer slowly approached it and said, "If you are human, deal as such instead. Face us properly, if that is your fate. Duel us, and reveal the truth of your state." Then the troll and Fae did battle and fought. Alas, all was not as the troll had thought.
I thought I'd find you here. If you were anyone else, I'd say it was destiny. But in this case, it was that damned tree. He's got roots and branches all through this forest. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Niralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure. And if she's so corrupted that Niralim is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger... The Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentar, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Nome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy. Let's not keep Nash waiting.
I don't know if I'll ever take on another apprentice. Not after. Goodbye. I don't know if I'll ever take on another. Apprentice. Goodbye.
Trolls aren't normally this well organized. Even the biggest clans never built dens this deep. No more delays. No more delays. No more delays. Nice work. What are the Tuatha doing here?